What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel video. Today, guys, we are going to be going over some news in regards to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel video game Saikyo Battle Royale. And, guys, this is some very exciting news as we finally got a release date for this upcoming game. I'm very excited to get into this. We got a couple of things when it is. We got the announcement, we got kind of some information, we did get some screenshots as well, and then we learned of some promo cards coming with the physical copy of Saikyo Battle Royale. And we're going to be going over the cards because I'm going to just say this, if you couldn't already tell from the thumbnail of the video, that these are going to be some exciting cards to be going over. And fun fact, this will be the first time that I actually cover a Rush Duel card that is like new, that's not technically a legend card. So I'm very excited about that as well. I'm not going to be doing this all the time. I'm only doing this is just because of the fact that since these are promo cards, why the heck not? Why shouldn't we just cover them? Now, I'm going to be honest, when I cover that card, I don't know anything about the Rush Duel, like, meta or anything, so I don't know if the card's good, I don't know if it's bad, I don't know if it's decent, I have none of that idea, so please do not be mad at me if I don't know if it's a good card or not, so bear with me on that. But I'm very excited to get into this news. That's all I need to say, so let's not waste any more time. I'm very excited to get into this discussion, so let's get right into it. So this is going to be the release date for Saikyo Battle Royale. The latest game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Strongest Battle Royale, which is the same thing, I guess that's what they call it, will be going on sale August 12th, 2021. In August. I'm actually surprised that it was... Well, no, I'm not surprised, actually, that it was that late. I was surprised of it getting announced as early as it did, like, getting as much information as we did. August 12th, I'm not surprised that date whatsoever, and that gives us a good amount of time to still get some trailers on the game and get a little bit more information on the gameplay. We did get some screenshots, which I'll go over those in a second, but the game is being released August 12th, so make sure to write that down in your calendars that August 12th will be the release of Saikyo Battle Royale. But you can pre-order this game on April 21st, 2021, and that's just a couple of days away, so once the 21st hits, you can pre-order your game right now, and then once August 12th comes, you can now start playing Saikyo Battle Royale. So that's pretty cool, and I'm surprised that's as early as it is, so that is pretty cool that August 21st you get to pre-own your game. Which, it's actually a good thing to actually get a pre-order of this game because you get a bonus with it, as amiibo cards are available as a pre-order bonus. Get duelist avatars and various parts with your bonus amiibo cards and enjoy exclusive voices during duels, which includes duelist avatar, protector custom parts, deck case custom parts, and dual field custom parts. I guess that means like when you're playing the game, like you can customize like your placemat, you can customize like probably like your sleeves or something like that. Like I guess like a case you can hold onto your cards. Like maybe you can have like multiple decks so that when you're facing an opponent, maybe you have a certain deck for a certain opponent, and maybe you can have a special box for that. And then like a duelist avatar. I do wonder if you get to like customize your character. Yo, if you can customize your character, that would actually be really, really sick. I hope that's what that means by that. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. But we also got some news today, and this is where we're actually starting to get into the screenshots and a little bit more information with the game as well. As you can challenge both Roa and Neo. Which, to be fair, when the website became a thing, and even on that like little banner that we got at the beginning, we know Neil was going to be in the game, so I'm not surprised that we're going to be able to duel Neil. I'm surprised they just didn't mention that. I think that was kind of interesting from that. And then the story develops in the world of Sevens, which is obviously what the Yugioh and crew. Now they did say this is going to be its own story. I am worried about that though. And that's only the reason because they can take it two ways. They can have a brand new story, or it can be the same story as the anime, but you do the action instead of Yuga. So basically, you're the protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s in this Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle Royale game. So I hope it's just a new story, because that's one of the things that I really kind of personally don't like with like Legacy of the Duelist, is it's just a story from the anime. It's not something new like the Tag Force games. Like that's one of the coolest things with Tag Force excuse me, is that it's its own unique story. That's why I think Tag Force is so cool. So I kind of hope that this game has it. I really do hope that this is just a new story and it does not just copy the anime. And then you obviously have like the stage is in Goha City, which obviously that's where the Sevens universe is. I mean, there's no reason why we wouldn't be in Goha City. And then besides communication-based fights with friends, you can also enjoy rush duels even with people far away via the internet, so there's going to be some online play, which I'm not surprised. And then the game contains cards up to Destined Power Destruction, and additional updates are planned, which I'm not surprised in that as well. I mean, they need to kind of keep updates with their packs as the weeks go on, and I believe this set. Now, I'm not really good when it comes to the Rush Duel packs. I believe this set is a Sana set. It's either a Sana set or it's, well, what set? Did Yuga set come out first before that, or that Neil set come out before that second Yuga and Roa one? I think it did. I think it's either the Neil one or it's not the Neil one, because I remember looking that up when I did that Maximum Summon video. I think it's the Asana one, and prefer to yell at me in the comments below if I'm wrong about that. But I think that's the current set right now, which I think it's just one set behind. So it's gonna probably be updated soon when Dynamic Internal Live, I think is what it's called. That new set with Roa and Roman's cards, that's probably going to be in the game. It just is going to be updates. And then a demo has been confirmed. So there's going to be a demo for the game. And then they also talk about how the game screenshots are from a version still under development. So these are not the full, like, what we are going to expect from this, but these are just like in an old version, basically. This is not going to be what they look like when the game comes out, so that's very interesting to note. But I guess let's just go over the screenshots that we did get. And I guess we'll start with the first one, which this one isn't much. This just shows Rush Dragons or Gears and Seven's Road Magician, which is probably going to be like the summoning animation for these cards when you summon your ace monster. I really do hope, and it looks like from just the graphics, I know this is just the old version, but if this is going to be updated, this might be on the qualities of Duel Links summoning animations, which I think they look crisp. I think the Duel Links summoning animations are really, really good. I just hope that they don't do it what they did with Legacy of the Duelist, and I'm not here to try to bash Legacy of the Duelist. I just think there were some things they could improve from that. Like, the thing with Legacy of the Duelist is that it was a port. This is technically the first new Yu-Gi-Oh game for the Nintendo Switch. So I just want them to kind of learn from Legacy of the Duelist. You can count Legacy of the Duelist as kind of like a starter, I guess, of like trying to get a feel for the Nintendo Switch and putting your games on the Nintendo Switch, to then improving them into your actual new game, if that makes any sense. So I felt like that's kind of what Legacy of the Duelist kind of became, and now they might be able to gain that information from that game and help this game grow from it. So hopefully the summoning animations are as crisp as the Duel Links. Is it going to be? I have really no idea. If this does go into other consoles, which I did forget to mention as well, this is only going to be Nintendo Switch exclusive. So for you PlayStation players, you Xbox players, or your PC players as well, you're not gonna get it on those consoles. Probably for a little while. I think they will go into the newer consoles. Hopefully, they will still do PS4 and not have to make you pay $70 for it on the PS5. For you Xbox players, it can go on the Xbox. It can go on Steam for PC players. So hopefully, it will go on those consoles as well. Legacy of the Duelist did go onto those consoles. So I would be very surprised if Rush Duels didn't do that. That's probably going to be after the international release, which we don't know when that's going to be. So I just want to kind of keep that in mind when looking out for it on the PS4, PS5, whatever it is, Xbox, PC, on all of that kind of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to mention that real quick. And then the other two screenshots that we got was one of kind of what like the dual field is gonna look like, which I think it just looks like a normal thing with what Yu-Gi-Oh has, where you just have the field. We saw a couple of monsters. I think we saw a Gravity Dragon. I think that's what it's called. That was the card that we saw in there. Is on the well, it's not on the mat. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of in your hand. I don't know what that all was, but like, or maybe it's like before like the summoning animation comes and you do like a tribute summon, because I believe that monster is a tribute summon monster. Before you tribute summon the monster, it goes into like the front of your screen and then gets placed down. I have really no idea what they'll really do with that. And then the other screenshot we got seems it's like Yuga, Roman, and Gakuto are kind of talking with each other. They're probably going to do. Me personally, I really do hope there's voice acting in this. I really do hope that. I believe Legacy of the Duelist didn't. I believe Saikyo Card Battle did do that and had voice acting. Someone could quote me if I'm wrong in that. I only looked up like the first, I would say maybe 15 minutes of that game, and I remember them having voice acting in it. I could be wrong again on that, but I really do hope there's voice acting. The thing is, it's very easy to do that. It's really not that hard, because you have the voice actors from the anime. There is no reason why you cannot have voice acting in this game. That's at least that I want from this, because I feel like with voice acting in like these kind of things, like if you're not gonna do a cutscene, at least do voice acting in these little like click kind of base scenes where you're just like scrolling through the dialogue. Because I feel like when you have voice acting with it, it brings out the personality of the characters and it gets you more invested into it instead of just reading it and trying to like make up an expression, I guess. So hopefully they do voice acting. I'm really, really hoping that they do that. Again, Legacy of the Duelist didn't do that, so I am worried about it, but I know that they are willing to do it, so I just really do hope that they actually put in voice acting for this. And also some cutscenes. I know that's maybe asking for a little too much, but we are in the Switch era. I feel like there is no reason to waste any more time. Change up the like pattern of what we've seen in games before. Like, and they don't have to be like big cutscenes or anything like that. It can just be small little cutscenes that you might have like at the beginning or something like that. Or like when you're going through certain places, like when you meet up with certain people, like maybe if you meet up with Roa for the first time or Neil for the first time, maybe you can have a cool little like cutscene of just meeting those characters. Like maybe you're playable character and they are just like they go into the Sevens Hell Hall. I know this is similar to what happened in the Sevens anime. I'm just doing this as an example. You're walking through the halls and you get into this big stage and Ro is just right there and he looks up and he just smiles at you. Like something like that. It doesn't have to be very big. I think it would just be something cool and just spice things up a little bit. Let me know if you guys would really like that. That's just something that I like to see in games. So that's just kind of more my personal wants into this game. I mean, I feel like we should be allowed to kind of have those kind of thoughts, so definitely let me know what you guys kind of think of that kind of idea of adding cutscenes to this game. But now let's get into the meat of this as well. Let's get into the actual card discussion of this video, because we got 3 new promo cards that's going to be coming with the physical copy of Saikyo Battle Royale. And the 3 cards that we are going to be getting are Dark Magician Girl, Pot of Greed, and a brand new card, Saikyo Battle Flag Ace Breaker, or what's called in the original, Saikyo Senki Ace Breaker, which actually I like that name a little bit more, which is going to be a new card for Rush Duels as well. And then the other 2 cards being well-known cards in the anime, but Pot of Greed being a legend card. Didn't I say, and someone can quote me if I remember saying this, didn't I say I wanted Pot and Greed in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel game? Of course I wanted Dark Magician Girl. I expected that card to be in the game. Well, at first I was surprised that it was a legend card, but I did find out on how legend cards work, because apparently I didn't know how legend cards work. And I guess I'll share with you guys, because I'm dumb when it comes to this. Again, I'm not familiar with Rush Duels that well. But apparently, from what I learned, you can only have 1 legend card. And I don't mean like a copy of 1 legend monster of that like card. So like you can have like 1 Dark Magician, 1 Pot of Greed. No, you can only have 1 legend card. So like if I have a legend card of Dark Magician and a legend card of Pot of Greed, I have to pick between the 2. I can't add both to the deck. I can only add 1, which I'm just going to say this is absolutely stupid. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know why they decided to do that. I understand it makes them a little bit more valuable to the deck, but I feel like that's kind of dumb. I really do wish maybe they do this to not really be, well, I don't know, because I feel like the cards that we got, other than Pot of Greed, I don't think it's real. We have really gotten broken cards. I mean, Monster Reincarnation is not that bad, and then like the other cards are very iconic as well. I mean, Blue Eyes is very iconic, has 3,000 attack points, and then you have Red Eyes with his 2,400, Dark Magician 25, and you have Dark Magician Girl now, and then Buster Blader as well. So you have those cards, but you can't play all the legend cards you want with 1 copy of it. You can only choose 1 card, and that's it, which is kind of sad. And we will be going over all 3 of these, so let's jump right into it. So the first card that we have to go over is obviously Pot of Greed. There's no way that I'm not starting this off with Pot of Greed. And what does Pot of Greed do? Well, sadly, they didn't give us an effect. So let's go on to the next one. Obviously, I'm kidding. I'm not... Oh, jeez, dude. The amount of times this card has just basically become a meme at this point, and you gotta thank the 4Kids dub for that, because apparently every character in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series, I feel like particularly in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, they did not know what Pot of Greed does. And let's get that record straight, shall we? So, what does Pot of Greed do? Its requirements. It has no requirements to activate this card. Its effect, draw 2 cards. That is it. Draw 2 cards. I feel like this card is broken. I said in the last time, if Pot of Greed comes to this game, I want to see how fast this card gets banned. Now, before people start typing in the comments and saying, well, with the whole massive drawing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duels, this card is not as good as the other ones. But I digress. I still think this is a very powerful card. Is it as broken as the meta? Probably not. Like in the Mastered Rule format, probably not as broken as that one. Because what made Pot of Greed so good is that you went 2 cards deeper into your deck, which helps you get to your combos a lot faster. That way you can make earlier plays than having to actually wait to draw those cards earlier. It just makes you get those cards a lot faster. That way you can do your plays that you want to do a lot quicker and a lot earlier than expected. And I feel like you can still have that with Rush Duels. Yes, there is massive drawing, but that's still 2 cards deeper in your deck. And hey, if you can use the 2 cards you can draw off of Pot of Greed and you can get your hand to 0 still, you would still be gaining that massive 5. Plus, you would be getting ahead because of Pot of Greed, because you were able to activate cards and use cards that you would have had to wait a turn before you could actually use those cards. And by that point, probably your board ended up getting destroyed or something like that. So I feel like Pot of Greed is still a very good card. Maybe it's not as effective as maybe in the Master Rule format because you drew a card every single time. So like if you use Pot of Greed and you got 2 cards, you got 2 cards deeper into your deck where you had to wait 2 turns before you can actually get those 2 cards to your hand in a regular Master Rule format. While in this game, it's just probably 1 turn because of that whole massive drawing thing, which is a little bit smaller than that. It's basically as, I guess it kind of has a worth in that regards to like a Jar of Greed, where it's just like 1 card deeper into your deck because of that massive drawing. But again, if you can get those benefits off of Pot of Greed when you first play the card and you're able to get those cards out of your hand and get a benefit out of that, you can still have the massive draw and go 2 cards deeper into your deck. So I still feel like Pot of Greed is still a very busted card. Is it as broken as in the Master Rule format? No, I mean, that card has been banned for, oh gosh, like 15 years or something like that. No, it's a lot. Well, I think it got banned in 2005, I think. So, 16 years. It's been in the ban list for 16 years. Holy crap, that is actually a very long time since that card. And they even mentioned that this has been a card on the forbidden list for a very long time. So for the people that never got to play with Pot of Greed as a kid and want to actually play it in a format that's actually legal, then Rush Duels might be the only chance that you get. And I would probably do it as fast as you can when it comes to the TCG, because again, this might be your only chance to do it. I would just do it as soon as you can because it probably would get banned. I really do think that this card has a good chance of getting banned just because of it still being a good card. Who would think that a simple card text would be so broken in Yu-Gi-Oh? And funny enough, this actually has more words in its card text now because of the requirements, the effect, and the none words that are with the extra card, because in the old printing it was just said draw 2 cards. It didn't have this requirement thing and then this effect thing on the bottom. I guess they did that just to kind of like separate the cards, which I guess is pretty good. It helps the younger players, but nevertheless, that's my thoughts on Pot of Greed. I want to know your guys' thoughts on Pot of Greed. Do you guys think it's still broken in this format? Or do you think that I'm over-exaggerating a little bit and it's not as powerful as in the regular card game? I mean, it's been banned for 16 years. Obviously, it's broken in the regular card game. But do you think it's as busted in Rush Duels? Or do you think it's less effective in Rush Duels because of the massive drawing? Definitely would like to know your guys' thoughts down below. Up next, we gotta go with Dark Magician Girl. And let me just say this. This card is going to bother me. Its requirements is none, and its effect. It gains 500 attack and defense for each Dark Magician in your graveyard. Now, you know the reason why that bothers me so much is because in the TCG, that's not an effect. In the TCG and the OCG, in the Master Rule formats, Dark Magician only gained 300 attack points, not 500. This effect is apparently based off of the manga effect, which is very interesting. I have no idea why they changed this. I think the only reason I can think of changing this effect is because of Dark Magician being a legend card and only being able to play 1 copy of it. Because if you had it to where Dark Magician Girl still had her boost effect of 300, her max attack points would only go up to 2300. However, with this effect, the max attack points she can gain is 2500 attack, which not only is it the same attack points as Dark Magician with 2500 attack points, but not only is this a tribute one tribute summon monster, but if you have a Dark Magician in the graveyard and you have this card can go toe to toe with Summon Skull, which is one of the most well-known one tribute monsters with its high attack point stat. It rivals the Summon Skull, which is also a legend card as well. So if your opponent is using a Summon Skull because of its 2500 attack, you can clash with these two monsters. Sure, they'll both be destroyed, but still, like, you're able to take down that big 2500 threat because you're able to get Dark Magician up to 2500 attack instead of being 2300 attack. So, from that point, I understand it's just going to bother me because I am so used to her 300 attack points in the actual TCG. So, it's just going to get a little... It's going to be weird to get used to, which, to be fair, I don't have to get used to it because I don't play the Rush Duel game, but, like, every time I look at this card, and, like, if this does appear in the anime, which I do think this is going to be in the anime, and that's another thing I just thought about. Pot of Greed in the anime, dude. We have not seen Pot of Greed since GX. We haven't seen Pot of Greed since GX. Oh, jeez, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. And in Dark Magician Girl, I mean, we haven't seen Dark Magician yet. I think this would be the best time to play Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And I think Dark Magic Attack is also in Rush Duel. So you have the whole Dark Magician package just coming together. And this is a card that you can actually add to that. So that's pretty cool. And I'm not surprised that Dark Magician Girl got into this. I mean, if Dark Magician got to... Dark Magician Girl is going to be in there. And plus, Buster Blader got in there as well. There's no way that Dark Magician Girl was not going to be in it. And I knew it was a lot of fan favorites. It was a fan favorite card to be in the Rush Duel game. So I hope you guys are happy that Dark Magician Girl is coming into the game. And the final promo card that we're going to be going over is Saikyo Senki Ace Breaker, or Saikyo Battle Flag Ace Breaker. Now, again, fair warning. Not only is this the first, which is funny, this is the first Rush Duel card that I've gone over since I've done Rush Duel videos that is not in regards to something that came from the Master Rule format. So, I want to state this again. When I read its effect, I can't really give an opinion if this card is good or not, because I don't know the Rush Duel game very well. I don't know its meta. I don't know if it's good or not. I'll try to give my best take on it, but I don't know. I might think it's like a decent card, but that's because of my knowledge of the Master Rule format of the cards that we've seen in that game, but not thinking about like the Rush Duel game. So bear with me on that. It's a level 7 light machine type effect monster with 2500 attack and 1600 defense. Its requirements is you can activate by sending 2 monsters from your hand to the graveyard, and in its effect, choose and destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls. Very, very interesting. So, you send 2 monsters from your hand to the graveyard, specifically monsters, and if you do that, you can destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls. So, I guess if you have an opponent's monster that you've had a really hard time getting rid of, you can use this effect and get rid of that monster and deal big damage. It seems like a decent effect, I think. I mean, that's, again, it's really hard to kind of judge in this because if this was in the actual card game, this would be a very bad card. Like, there's no protection on this card. It's not really worth getting this card out. It's not an easy way to get this card out, I feel like, especially with its, like, requirements, as well as sending 2 monsters graveyard. Though, in the real-life card game, I guess there's synergy with graveyard, so maybe it's not as bad in the real-life card game, but obviously they don't care about graveyard synergy, but I think it's a pretty decent card. The artwork, I think, looks pretty sick. As for who uses this card, because that's something I can go over with this, is who would really use this card. I mean, the other cards is going to be used by Otis. Otis has used every single, like, legend card in decks revolving around old archetypes, so obviously that's meant for him. As for this card, I know a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people are going to say this is going to be another Yuga Ace. However, this is where my proposal comes in. I think this is going to be the ace monster you start off with. I really do believe that. I mean, it fits with the game. It's called Saikyo Battle. in its name, or it's Saikyo in its name. So I feel like this is going to be the ace monster that you start off with in the game. This is going to be your ace monster, because it wouldn't make sense if you had Seven's Road Magician as your ace, because that's Yuga's ace monster. What the heck is he gonna have? Or you can't have Dragears as your ace monster, because how is that going to be Rooks? Now maybe when you build your own deck, maybe you can have those as your ace, but starting off the game when you're gonna probably have to use the game's built-in deck, you need to have an ace monster, and you can't have those ace monsters because they belong to other characters in the story. So this card just makes sense to be like your starting ace monster. I really do believe that's what this card is going to be. And hey, it fits with the 2,500 attack point stat, even though that hasn't really mattered since, honestly, you can argue Vrains with the whole Decode Talker scenario. I'm not getting into that whole debacle again. And then Seven's kind of broke that tradition with Seven's Road Magician with 2,100 attack, which I still don't understand why it's 2,100 attack. Like, it's always been 2,500 attack points. It's never had to be 2,000 defense because Dark Magician kind of broke that rule, but... And this card even breaks that rule as well. It has 1,500 defense, so... Probably you're not going to see this card much in defense mode, unless you're dealing up against monsters that are only like 1,400 attack points or lower, or just like 1,500 attack points or lower, because both monsters can be destroyed. But other than that, that's really it for this. Again, this card looks really, really sick. There's nothing much I can really say about this card. And yeah, that's just going to be it. Wow, that was a long video. There was a lot to cover into this. I mean, we had the whole, like, all this, like, news on the release date, the screenshots, the promo cards. So much is coming out for this new game, dude. Holy crap. All we need is a trailer now, and we're good. So, hopefully that comes out soon. Maybe somewhere in May, I hope. Please, Konami, give us a trailer for in May. I would really appreciate it. But all jokes aside, I'm very excited for this game. As I've said that since the beginning. I've been excited for a new Yu-Gi-Oh video game. I know it's Rush Duels and it's gonna be weird, but like I'm still excited for it. I'm excited for the promo cards. I'm excited to see how fast Pot of Greed gets banned. I'm excited to see Dark Magician Girl in the anime, and I'm excited to see what this card, the new card, is gonna, or that Saikyo Battle card. That's, you know, I'm gonna read its card name again. Saikyo Battle Flag Acebreaker, which I actually like I like the original name, Saikyo Senki Acebreaker. That name, I think sounds sick. The other one sounds sick as well, but I think the original name sounds crisp. But I'm excited to see what role that card's going to play, whether it's going to be in the anime or is it going to be your starter ace for the Saikyo Battle Royale game. And I want to know your guys' thoughts on that card. Do you agree with me that it's going to be your starter ace, or do you think it's just going to be a card used in the anime? But other than that, and also let me know your guys' thoughts on Pot of Greed and Dark Magician Girl coming to the game as well. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the news, on the release date. Did you expect that to be in August, or did you expect it to be sooner or later? Let me know your guys' thoughts on the screenshots as well, and maybe some like potential ideas that you have for the game, and all that crazy stuff down below. But guys, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, guys, take care and have yourselves a great rest of your day.